Love bug. So go ahead and tell everybody you know that your favorite motivator is about to get started and they need to tune in.
Oh,
The enigmatic entrepreneur whose words will make you sure. Know, trust, and believe. The master teacher has come to help you succeed. The gem dropper, the truth speaker, the voice in the universe that will bring you to your highest peak. Welcome to the Get High on Motivation Show with Mimi the Motivator, your favorite motivator's favorite motivator.
here the time is now. So get up and put on your crown. Goodbye to yesterday. Welcome to life eternal. The time is here, the time is now. So pick up and put on your crown. Goodbye to yesterday. Welcome to life eternal.
Evening, love bugs. It is your favorite motivator, Mimi the Motivator, and this is the Get High on Motivation Show. Welcome to another episode. If this is your first time, I'm gonna apologize in advance. I'll probably get a little crazy. I might say something a little throwed off, and I'm gonna call you a love bug. Then there's this other thing. There's this other part of the deal. When you listen to this show, then you have to be committed to being 1% better in just one area of your life. So not every area, every single day, but today I just want you to pick one single area that you know I need to work on this. I could do a little better because you know you can do better in life, right? As always, I am going to have some food for thought, and then we'll roll into our conversation today about listening to spirit. Whew. I feel like I'm already out of breath thinking about it. Lord have mercy, because I can talk for days. Y'all know that, right? So let me introduce myself. Again, I am Mimi the Motivator. I am a professional holistic leadership development expert. I help people get from where they are to where they desire to be by helping them identify and eliminate the blocks that they probably didn't even know exist. Some of us know what's holding us back, and some of us have no clue, and that's okay. Either way, we're going to get through this thing together. We get together every week for 30 minutes just so we can do that. I listen in too. So make sure that you are sharing this with somebody, especially if I say just one little shum, that you like, ooh, let me share it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Take a deep breath. Let's do it again. You gotta let it out with a sigh sometimes, because that lets out of that tension and stress that's in your body that's probably making you feel some type of way. That gets that out of there. So today, our food for thought comes from this wonderfully folded up piece of paper from the YMCA, from the Northwest Y, that my Grammy brought me. Hey, Auntie Belinda, what's up? What's up? So it says, a person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. A person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. So this comes from Proverbs 19 and 11. Now, the first time I was handed this piece of paper, I read it and I was like, that makes no sense whatsoever. I don't get it. Literally, that's what I said. But I kept it because I said, maybe I'll get it on another day. I get it today, y'all. So I hope you get it too. It says a person's wisdom yields patience. Your wisdom is what yields patience. It's not just the things that's happening. It's your awareness that things are going to happen regardless. That's what allows you to know, well, I might as well sit back and relax anywho, because this is going to take place whether I like it or not, whether I desire it or not. But then the second part is where it really has the gold. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. When you overlook when people are doing stupid stuff or dumb things or things that will offend you, it serves you not to, because you the one gonna get upset. And sometimes the person who upset you, they're not bothered at all, completely unbothered, and you're sitting there looking like a basket case, going crazy, going off. But it's only because you are paying attention to the offense. So what would happen if we overlook when somebody offends us? Just think about that. The only reason we may be offended is because we're on the defense. So maybe we need to take a different position. If you know anything about football or basketball, I'm sure as well. I'm more of a football person, but there is offense and there is defense, and you got to be able to play both parts. You got to be able to play both positions at some point in life. There's going to be some things that we're going to have to defend ourselves from, and then there's some times where we're going to have to take action to get to where we're going. but know that there are other people taking action to get to where they're going, and they're going to offend us. Okay? But it is not our job to look for their offense. It is more so our job to start looking for people to do the right thing. Look for what's going right, not look to be offended. I want all of us to catch somebody doing something right, especially the person that we have definitely identified who has been doing all the wrong things. Let's catch them doing something right today. If no other day, just for today, we are going to catch people doing something right, saying something right. I don't care, maybe looking right. And call it out and let them know, I see you doing the right thing. Because we are great at calling out when somebody is doing the wrong thing. Are we not? We're great at complaining about when people are behaving in a way that does not serve us. We're great at letting people know when what they have done is getting on our nerves, or we don't like it, or whatever the case may be. We're good at that. We're good at saying ouch. We're good at telling people that they're doing the wrong thing, or they're doing something to hurt our feelings, or they're the catalyst for the experience that we're having right now. But let's turn the tables today, because we are working on being 1% better, correct? Okay. So the way I personally am going to work on being 1% better today is I'm going to overlook offenses. So if somebody does something or says something that offends me, I might be offended for a few seconds, but I'm going to take them a few seconds to take a deep breath and remember that everything is always working out for me, first and foremost. But secondly, it's to my glory to look over their offense. Because this is about us. It's not about them. They're just, players in our play. But we are the star and we are the director. And today we're going to direct how this play plays out. Are you with me? I hope so. So before I dive into today's conversation, I want to let you know that in case you are that person who has been coaching people for free, and what I mean by coaching people for free is they call you and you tell them what to do. You giving out advice all day for free. It's time for you to stop giving out free advice, love bug. It's time for you to get into the program so you can start getting paid people what to do. So you can get paid to listen to people's stuff. You'll get paid to help them process it and give them guidance and direction because you deserve it. This is an energy exchange. Money is energy. And if you are putting your energy out in the world to help other people, it's time for the universe to repay you and to continue paying you for that energy exchange. Can I get an amen? Okay. All right. So let's talk about today's conversation. Today, we are talking about how to listen to your spirit, because spirit is always talking, but are we listening? Just think about it. If you have a small child, have you ever been in a position where they keep on saying, mama, 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 I want this, I want this. They keep saying something over and over, but you have trained yourself not to hear it anymore. Not that they're not talking anymore, not that they're not asking anymore, but you're not listening anymore. So understand that spirit is the same way. Spirit can be like that nagging child, except for it's not so loud. And today we're going to talk about how do we hear spirit? How do we listen to spirit? Because hearing and listening is not the same thing. And how do we apply possibly what spirit is saying? How do we know if it's spirit or if it's just our imagination or our mind playing tricks on us? How do we know that it's spirit? How do we know that it's not ego? How do we know that it's not fear? Where this comes from is, y'all, today, instead of recording live from Nashville, I should have been in Tampa, Florida recording. But spirit told me not to go. Now, I wrestle with this, y'all. I'm talking about I've been wrestling with it for over a week, to the point that my head has been hurting. And I've come up with all kind of excuses as the reason why my head might be hurting. But I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. I am ascending first and foremost. And whatever vibrational plane I might have been on a few weeks ago or last month, I'm not on that one now. I have leveled up. And the things that are on a lower vibrational plane ain't working for me, first and foremost. Secondly, I am more in tune because I have decided to listen more. And that's why I want to encourage you and explain, what does that look like when you listen to your spirit? What does it look like in the physical? And what does it look like in the metaphysical to listen to spirit? Because like I said, spirit is always talking, but are we listening? And even just think about that. If we're not listening, should spirit even keep on talking? Can you imagine if you're really trying to convince somebody of something that is for their highest and greatest good, but they're not paying you any attention? Will you keep on talking? What we don't want to do is take a chance of spirit being quiet on us. We want spirit to always be there for us and always talking Okay, because usually what the problem is that we are doing all the talking. How many people out there pray? Right? Praying is talking to God, right? But how many of us take the time to listen to God? I heard somebody talking about praying and then they go to sleep right after they pray. I'm like, well, you eliminated God's opportunity to respond. We have to start listening more, right? So here are 4 words that came to my awareness as to guide us in this whole listening to spirit thing. So first and foremost, you have to know that spirit, again, speaks in a small, still voice. It's almost like a whisper. It's almost like that whisper when you heard something and you're not sure where it came from. You're looking around. That's spirit. But guess what? Spirit starts off with this whisper and this nice little sweet talk. But when you are not listening, guess what it does? It starts getting loud. It's kind of like an irate woman, an irate baby mama. You ain't been listening. Well, I'm going to talk loud until you can hear me loud and clear. That is spirit. Spirit will hit you over the head. That's probably why my head been hurting, because I wasn't listening. I was being resistant. Do you think it really even serves us to be resistant to spirit? Nah, it doesn't. So the number 1 word on my list is priority. If we're going to listen to spirit, we got to make it a priority to listen to spirit. You can't just think, oh, I'm going to listen to spirit. No, you have to make a priority to listen to spirit. Now, I'm not saying that you got to go in your closet and get on your knees or sit in a lotus position and have Gaian Mudra going on or any of those things. You ain't got to burn an incense or a candle. You don't have to burn any sage. You don't have to play any special music. Now, those things might help you get in the mood, and that's good to get started. But we need to be in a position where we can hear spirit all day. Not just taking an hour or 10 minutes out of the day or out of the week or out of the month to listen. We talking all day. We begging all day. Am I lying? People be begging God. You're begging for this. Can you make this happen? If you just make this go away. I just want this. That, first of all, is not even the proper spirit to even be praying from, quote unquote. But let's move on to my next word. Once we have realized that we have to make it a priority to listen, the next thing is that we have to pursue an answer. You have to work on this. This is not something that just readily comes easily if you have not been practicing this in your past. And that's okay. Because as long as we're practicing it, we can get better. And that's all we want is to get better, 1% better, right? What if we got 1% better in listening every single day? What would that look like? So we have to pursue the voice of spirit. We have to make ourselves available to the voice of spirit. Go after it and get quiet. And when I mean go after, we have to persist. Because understand, when you are trying to listen to spirit, the phone is going to ring. The dog is going to bark. Somebody's going to honk their horn outside. Somebody's going to be walking through the house. Somebody's going to be calling your name while you're trying to listen to your higher power, to your higher self, listening to the voice that really counts, to the message that really counts. So you have to be persistent mentally and physically sometimes. I've been in my room meditating and my grandma's just walked in there, gone through the closet, done all kind of things as if I wasn't sitting there meditating, where it's clear I'm sitting in Indian style crisscross applesauce with my pose going on, but it was a priority to her. So I can't expect, let's rewind. We can't expect for other people to make this a priority. We have to make it a priority ourselves to be a listener of the spirit. And you can't think that when you're trying to listen, everybody's going to be quiet, because they're not. Okay? They're probably going to get louder because they know you're trying to listen to something that might remove them from your space. People don't want you to listen to the voice that's louder than yours. That's why I believe that they did Jesus the way they did Jesus, because Jesus was talking too loud. They ain't like that. Like, dude, you got to shut up. So know that sometimes when you are in that space, that you have to be in a position where you are making it a priority, you're pursuing it, you're being persistent mentally and physically, and then you definitely have to pray. Start the conversation with spirit. Let's call it that. You ain't got to call it prayer. Let's just call it talking. Let's call it conversation. Conversation with the higher essence, with source energy, with universe. Having that conversation, starting the conversation to let spirit know, hey, I'm ready, and I'm ready to hear what you got to say. I'm ready to hear what you got going on for me. Because we can come up with all kinds of stuff ourselves, and usually it doesn't even work out. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I make a great plan, and it sounds good, it looks good, even looks great on my planner, and then it goes nothing like that. I've created an agenda for an event and it has gone completely sideways. More than likely because I wasn't listening to spirit. I wasn't following my spirit guide. See, there's some consequences also when you start listening to spirit. So let's talk about that. They're good and bad. There's two main ones that come to mind though. First and foremost, when you start listening to spirit, you're going to look a little crazy, okay? You're going to be like dude who was building a boat in the middle of the desert with no sign of rain or water. You got to be like that, okay? It's kind of be like that crazy faith thing we talk about quite often. But you know that when you start listening to spirit, that there's some people that are going to be upset about the decision you made. The decision for me not to go to Florida yesterday definitely upset some people. It may have even hurt my dad's feelings. And that part, that part was hard. But that's where we got to be able to persist and know that we're doing the right thing when we are listening to spirit and not listening to the people around us. When we're not trying to satisfy or pacify the people around us. Now, there is a brighter consequence that can happen as well, though. When you start listening to spirit, all kind of magical stuff can start happening in your life. When you start listening to spirit, you get better than what you even desired. When you start listening to spirit, that thing that you had to say no to made it a way for a bigger yes. So know that sometimes we're going to have to say no to some things because spirit said so. And you don't have to have no explanation. And I'm sure that you're going to want one because the people that you're telling that you've changed your mind, they're going to want an explanation. But we don't owe anybody any explanation. None whatsoever. That's one thing that one of my business partners taught me when I first started working with her, is that I do not have to explain myself. But very often we thought that we had to explain ourselves. Tell them, Samantha, we don't got to explain ourselves. Tell them we just doing what we got to do. That's it. That's it. Point blank, period, end of story. So let's talk more. Let's talk more about what it looks like to listen to spirit or how we do this. So first and foremost, you have to be in a spirit of being teachable. If you're not teachable, how can you learn anything? If you're not teachable, if you're not coachable, how can you grow? If you're not coachable, how do you get to that next level? And know that your coach is not always going to appear as a Mimi the motivator. Your coach might be a higher power. Your coach might be that billboard that you keep driving by that keeps on telling you that same message over and over and over every time you ride it by, and you know it's resonating with you to the point that you're smacking your lips and rolling your eyes at the billboard. Come on. We also have to have a spirit of attentiveness. When we are going to be listening, you have to really pay attention. Recently, my grandmother purchased a machine from a lady who was deaf. This lady did a whole presentation. We went to a whole meeting and she did all the talking, which was very undistinguishable, but enough where you could hear what she was saying. Only if you were paying attention. So the people who weren't paying attention weren't hearing anything that she was really saying. It just sounded like, no. It sounded like noises to them. But for those of us in the room who were paying attention to her lips moving, really to the sounds that she's making, what her hands were doing in the moment of, we knew exactly what she was saying. That's what happens. You can listen to spirit and know exactly what is being said to you. So no, it might not be the most recognizable noises or sounds or communication that you are accustomed to, but you know that something is being communicated to you that you need to listen to. Next, you have to have a humble spirit. You can't be all hotty-totty thinking that you can't be told what to do and you know everything and you done know it all and you the end all and the be all and you done read the books and you done did this and did that. And it goes on and on and on as to why somebody thinks that they don't need any guidance. You got to be humble enough to know that you do need guidance. You have to be humble enough to know that you do need direction. You have to be humble enough to know that you don't have all the answers. You don't have to have all the answers, but you do have to be open to receiving them. Next thing, you have to have a spirit of submission. You have to be submissive to spirit, okay? And I know that might not work for some of these modern day women and definitely men, like submit to who, to what? No, we have to submit to spirit. We have to have that submissive spirit. When you are in a submissive or surrendering type of space, it makes you open to more. If we constantly going 90 miles per hour, that is definitely not in the space of surrender. But when you take a break and sit down and be quiet for a second, that is surrendering. That is submitting. And then last, that you have to have a spirit of expectation. You have to expect that whatever it is that you are praying on or that you are meditating on, that it is possible and it is coming for you, that it is already done. When we think that stuff is already done and we pray from that space, then you won't be doing that begging prayer. You won't be begging the universe to change things in your life. If anything, you'll be begging the universe to change your mind, to renew your mind, to renew your spirit, to put you in a place where you can listen more. That's the other thing you can do, is just simply ask. Ask your universe, your God, whatever high power that you claim, how can I listen more? And then be ready to listen. So I got a great question. How do you build up your spiritual regimen? It's a trial and error thing, is what I definitely believe. It's trial and error. You have to try things that work for you and create your own system and process that works for you. It definitely needs to happen in the morning. Don't think that it can happen in any other time of the day. It can't. You might be able to make it happen, but that might is, it can be a strong might and it can be a weak might. We don't have time for weak mights. You start the day, you start the momentum. You create the momentum. You create the results of the day at the beginning of the day. Just like those people who are in sales, you close the sale at the first thing that comes out of your mouth. So we're going to seal the day at the beginning. We're going to start off by, first and foremost, when we wake up, first thing, give thanks that you woke up. I wake up and I throw my arms in the air and I say, I'm alive, I'm awake, and I feel great. I'm alive, I'm awake, and I feel great. I'm alive, I'm awake, and I feel great. I can't help but feel some type of way after I do that. I don't care how I woke up. I could wake up grouchy. Who cares? I give thanks and praise that it's a new day, that's a new opportunity for me to do something different. The next thing that I have to do is usually meditate. I go ahead and lay myself right on back down after I got excited and meditate for about 11 minutes and 22 seconds, just so I can be quiet for a second. The next thing I do is I do a gratitude journal every single day. I am grateful for this bed feeling so good. I'm grateful dinner was great last night. I'm grateful for things working out for me. I'm grateful I decided to listen to my spirit and cancel this trip. I'm grateful my skin is soft. I don't know. I'm grateful I'm off work today, or I'm grateful I have a job to go to. Find something to be grateful for and make a list every single morning. Now, yes, you can do these things at the evening as well to seal the day again, but we want to create the momentum at the start of the day. And we don't want to allow anything or anyone else outside of us to dictate that, to create our momentum when we have it all in the palms of our hands. So speaking of palms of our hands, don't wake up and grab the phone. Unless the phone is going off as an alarm and you turning it off. But don't go scrolling. Don't go looking for text messages. Don't go looking through the social media. None of that. I know you got to post. You can post when you're done getting yourself together. But first and foremost, get you together. Fill your cup up first before you start interacting with people. And know the people in your house, they're going to have questions for you. They're going to want you to do things for them. But you have to fill your cup up, and maybe you may even have to mention and say, hey, I'm filling my cup up. And as soon as I get it full and it's overflowing, I'll be happy to pour from my saucer and do whatever it is that you need me to do. But make you a priority. Let's go back to those P's. Make yourself a priority. Pursue your dreams. Be persistent in what it is that you're working towards for that day. Not in whole life, just for that day. And pray that you will receive the guidance, that you will hear the voice of spirit to guide you along the way. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, feel free to send them in to me. You don't have to be here on the live. If you're watching the replay or listening to the replay, reach out to me wherever you found this. Reach out to me on social media. I live on Instagram, but if you hit me on Facebook, just give me a couple days to get back to you. But let me know, what kind of questions do you have? What kind of challenges are you facing that you just wish there was somebody who would speak on that? Please believe, if I don't know the answer, I will find them. I'm a mathematician, and my biggest, bestest math teacher told me that a smart person doesn't know all the answers, but they know where to find them. So know that the Get High on Motivation show is where you can find answers. The Get High on Motivation show is where things can happen for you, because I'm here to learn the stuff. I'm here to find the information, because if I don't know it, I'll find it for you. So you just let me know, what is it that you need to know? What challenges would you like to eliminate? What obstacles, what roadblocks? Shout out to my people looking in and listening in from LinkedIn. I appreciate you being with me today. I appreciate all of you who come each and every week because it does make a difference. It makes a difference for me. It makes a difference for the people that are in your lives. Every time we become 1% better, we're becoming 1% better for ourselves. We're becoming 1% better for the people in our life. We are becoming 1% better for the world, which guess what that means, y'all? We're making the world 1% better. So if you want a better world, keep making a better you. If you want a better relationship, make a better you. If you want a better business, make a better you. It's not the business, it's not the boo, it's not the family, it's not the world, it's not the fake diseases, it's not none of that junk, it's not the fake news. Pay attention to you. Make yourself a priority. Make it a priority to listen to yourself because yourself knows some stuff that you don't even know, okay? Yourself knows things that you'll never be privy of, and that's why we have to listen. When I canceled this trip, I understood and I surrendered to the fact that Spirit knows things that I don't know. And I wasn't going to get on that plane and travel all those miles just to find out what Spirit already knew. Listen to your spirit. It's that still, small, quiet voice that sometimes might say something that sounds weird or a little crazy or a little thrown off, but it's probably the thing because it wasn't the thing that you came up with your own mind. Your mind is brilliant, but your mind is also set up to protect you from change, from difference. You're worthy of that change. You're worthy of that difference. So just keep working on you every single day, 1% better in one area of life. And then let somebody know they need to listen to this show, okay? So I hope this has been helpful for you today. Hit the like button if it was. Hit the share button. And I'll be back next week with more nuggets and more information and maybe some more sunglasses. I love you. I appreciate you so very much for tuning in each and every single week. I love you. I love you. I love you. I appreciate you from the depths of my heart. Be happy. Be healthy. And focus on being